So once that's very clear, then these two propositions should be sort of how well insurance works depends exactly on how much of the variation in income comes from this and this versus that. If all the variation in income comes from this and that, from the village shock and the common, the year shock and the village shock, then in some sense there's nothing to insure. The extreme case, if this were always 0, there's nothing to insure. We all get this something that's maybe if alpha h were non-zero, then maybe I get more money than my neighbor, I get more money every month, but our incomes go up and down by the same amount. So there's nothing to insure. There's no risk that's separate. We all face the same income shock, so our income goes up and down by the same amount, so there's nothing to share. Maybe there's some fixed difference between us, the alpha h is not 0, but that's it. That's one extreme case. Is that clear? You should stop me. Whenever I become too obscure, you should stop me. But also, it's easy to kind of, for me to keep talking and you can keep nodding, but it might well be that we're just losing each other. So it would be useful to, if you have anything that you find even mildly confusing, to stop me. Okay, so that's so if your income is dominated by this and that, then there's not much insurance to be had. That's sort of almost relabeling. I'm just saying common shocks can't be insured. We all have the same common shocks, so it doesn't make any difference. How can we insure each other since we all got the same, we have all the same problem. Or when we have all the same, we all win the lottery at the same time, we're not going to help each other. So how much insurance there is will depend first on how much idiosyncratic variation there is. How big the variance of this is relative to variance of those two things. And the second, of course, how good the contract is. Can we actually make sure that people do it? Sorry, I went the wrong way. It could very well be that yes, lots of the variation is idiosyncratic, epsilon varies a lot, but we don't share. For whatever reason, we refuse to help each other, maybe because we don't trust each other, maybe because I know that I can help you today, but I'm not sure that you'll help me tomorrow. If there's not enough trust, there won't be enough help. There's something here that's sort of driven by trust, right? I am today, it's a net transfer from me to someone. But if I don't trust that person to help me tomorrow, I won't do it today. So trust might vary within an environment, and if we don't trust each other, we won't insure each other. Is that clear? Sort of why we may not get, it may be desirable to insure because there's lots of idiosyncratic shocks, but it may not be possible because we don't trust each other.